Monica here. Welcome to Consulting Monica. So I'm in this beautiful mountain zone. I'll show it to you a little bit. Oh, hello. It's a beautiful weather. Happy Easter for those of you who are celebrating it. So I'm going to try to keep my videos a little bit shorter and more technical because I've been checking my statistics and apparently most people are watching between 1 and 4 minutes of my videos. Are you kidding me? Okay. So I'm going to try to be more technical about my videos and keep them shorter because, you know, we all have busy lifestyles and maybe I'm a little over passionate about what I'm speaking about. So, okay, last video we talked about the mind and how to drop your identifications with your thoughts and identity. If you haven't checked it, please check it out because it's going to have, before watching this one, because it's going to have an impact into that. And also the videos about how to use body as fuel. And the other videos about the body are very important too, so that you can understand what I'm going to talk about today. And implement it, because understanding it's not enough. So let's talk a little bit about dimensions of the mind and how do they function and how can you make them work for you, for your stability. Now there are 3 dimensions of the mind that I want to talk to you about today, and 2 of them are, which is the intellect and the accumulative mind. So these 2 are more like for survival purpose. So they're strictly for survival purposes, and they function from the compulsiveness of the memories that you gathered in terms of karmic and genetic memories. So they work for our survival. But there is a way to make them work for us from the 3rd dimension of the mind, which I'm going to talk about, which is called awareness. So in order to understand how to work with these dimensions, we need to understand them, what they are and what they do. So the first dimension is the intellect. Now the intellect, also called the discerning mind, like I talked in the last video about it, it helps you to discern things in your life. For example, to discern a person from a tree. You wouldn't know if you wouldn't have your intellect. Or if you need to, my God, there's a lot of mess here, it's been raining. If you need to, how to get out of the building, through the door or through the wall or out of the window, you wouldn't know where to put the food that you eat. So this is what the intellect does, and it's very, very useful for our survival. But the problem with this is that it's functioning, it can only work from the data of the past, from the memory of the past. So for example, if I don't know what fire is and I burn my hand today, my intellect is going to register that. And next time when I'm going to see fire, I'm going to know to keep my hand out. So that's how the intellect functions. So you can see it can only function from the data of the past, from something that happened in the past. And the problem with this is that if it works only from the data of the past, well, nothing new is possible. So the intellect is going to lose its edge if it's used like this, and it's going to lose its sharpness, and it can create distorted conclusions about life. So the other dimension of the mind is the accumulative mind. Now the accumulative mind works with the intellect, they work together, in the sense that the accumulative mind brings the impressions that you've been gathering through your 5 senses, and together with the intellect they draw certain conclusions. But the problem is that the accumulative mind can never comprehend the whole system. Because for example, if I show you this side of my hand, right? And let's say you've never seen a hand before. Now you cannot understand what is this side. Or if I show you this side, you're not going to see this side. So you can never see the whole as it is. So that's the problem with the accumulative mind, that the five senses are gather limited conclusions, limited impressions. And it's a problem, because if you pair that up with the intellect, which only works from the past, you will never experience life the way it is, and it becomes a trap, and it distorts reality, and you won't see things the way that they are. So this is the problem with the intellect and the accumulative mind. They're very good for survival, but they function from data from the past, and they function from the memory of the five senses. Now, if these two work strictly for survival, then you will always enslave your faculty of discernment to the limitations of the five senses. So that's not good for you. So what to do? That's the question. Well, we have a third dimension of the mind, which is called awareness. Now, do not confuse awareness with alertness. So alertness means it's an intellectual process, but it's not awareness. Awareness is a state where you are fully conscious of everything that is happening around you. You're experiencing it in the present moment, and you have no external stimulus. So it all comes from within as a conscious process. So that's the only way in which you can be aware. Now, awareness is not something that you can just, I close my eyes and I'm going to be aware. Awareness is not something that you try to do. It doesn't work like that. Awareness is something that you need to cultivate, and it takes a long, long time. And in order to cultivate it, we need to do certain things, and I'm going to talk about them. But the point is that if you start cultivating awareness in your life, then the intellect and the accumulative mind are going to function out of this. So you need to dip the intellect and the accumulative mind into the awareness part of the mind. And then they're going to work from a completely new perspective, and they're going to open up new experiences for you, because awareness has certain levels of it. And whenever you reach a new level, new experiences open up for you. Oh my God, this is a beautiful view. Let me show it to you. Yeah? These are mountains, as you can see. And they're beautiful. So like I was saying, cultivating awareness. Now what to do to cultivate our awareness? Like I said, you cannot try to be aware. Awareness is something that comes in time, and you can only have access to it when you bring alignment, like I've been talking in all my videos. We need alignment between body, mind, and here we have thoughts and emotions and energies. So you need to take them individually and bring a certain balance to your system, and then awareness will happen. So the more alignment you bring between these three, the more aware you're going to be. The more aware you're going to be, the better your intellect and your accumulative mind are going to function from the right type of memory. So, how to bring balance to the body? Please check my videos about the body, how to use your body as fuel, and alertness and restfulness. I have 2 videos about it, and I go on many details about it, so please check them out to bring stability to the body. To bring stability to the mind, you can check my videos about the last video where you learn how to drop your identifications with your thoughts and identity. That helps a lot. Now, also, to bring this balance to our minds, we need to understand that to bring balance to the mind, you have to drop your belief systems. So, your belief systems are basically conclusions that you have reached throughout the years. And in life, you should never draw conclusions, because conclusion means rigidity. And rigidity means that whenever somebody else is going to come with their beliefs and opinions, you're going to be stuck in your own, and you're not going to keep an open mind to it. So it's better to treat everything that happens to you from the perspective of you just don't know. You don't know, and you're more like seeking. You're looking at it with an open mind and with an unprejudiced mind. And this brings flexibility. So instead of the rigidity that the belief systems bring, if you look at life like this, then you're going to have flexibility. And that will give you a certain stability and alignment in the mind that you can access and that can help you be more aware. Now, there's another aspect about the mind about prejudice, so to say, that will keep you entangled, and that is morality. You need to drop your morality. Because what is morality? If you look at the definition of it, morality means that there are principles that have been brought for us to bring social order in our lives due to a decreased humanity, and they've been brought to bring social order and stability. And they're principles about good and bad behavior, right and wrong behavior, and that's not a good way to approach life. Because if somebody tells you that this is good and this is bad, well, they already reached a conclusion, right? And then what? You must follow their belief systems and reach the same conclusion or an opposite one? That's not how life works. So instead of looking to apply these principles of ethics and morality, you need to cultivate your humanity, not morality. Morality has only been brought because the humanity has been decreased due to certain identifications that people have been gathering. And even religion did this in a way. And I don't say this is a bad thing about religion, but a lot of you have been taught that, if you're born outside of a marriage, it's a sin. If you have sex outside of a marriage, it's a sin. So then we learned how to be ashamed of our own biology. So I don't think that's what religion should be. But anyway, this is not the topic for this video. What I'm trying to say is that you need to increase your humanity and decrease your morality. What does that mean? That means that you don't need to understand the principles of right and wrong and good and bad, but experience them for yourself. And to experience something for yourself, you need to be inclusive and not exclusive. So inclusiveness means that you perceive everything and everyone in this creation as a part of yourself. And then you don't need morality, do you? For example, let's look at my little finger. Now, if I experience you as my little finger, do I need morality to know that I'm not supposed to hurt this finger, cut it down, bruise it, harm it in any way? No, I will protect this little finger with my life because, a little finger can bring many problems and a lot of pain. So the whole point, what I'm trying to say is that you need to perceive everything like that. And then you will protect everything around you and you will be humble and grateful and devoted to everything. Whether it's a plant, whether it's a tree, whether it's God, whether it's a fellow human being sitting right next to you, you will learn to protect all those things. And that's where humanity is. And then you're not going to need morality. So these are things that you can do to cultivate your awareness. Now, as a recap, so we have the dimensions of the mind, intellect and accumulative mind. They work from limited data of the past and experiences of our five senses, and they keep us identified with things that we are not, and we will perceive reality in a very distorted way. So we need to dip them in awareness, a more subtle dimension of the mind that we can reach in certain levels, and that helps us to be fully conscious and aware of everything that's happening. How to do that? Bring balance to the body, bring balance to the mind, bring balance to your energies. Now, in the description of this video, I'm gonna write down the videos about the body and the mind that you should watch, and also yoga and meditation, because they bring balance to your energies too. So they bring alignment to all the 3 dimensions I've been speaking about. So try to incorporate that in your life on a daily basis. So if you do these things, you can cultivate awareness. If you cultivate awareness, your intellect and accumulative mind will work not just for your survival, but for your life. And you will see life and reality the way that it is. And that means liberation. So drop your belief systems, drop your morality and ethics, increase your humanity instead. Try doing it, and that will take you to true liberation. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. If you like this video, please hit the like button. The more likes you give me, the more people I can help. And thank you very much for your time. And let's close with the beautiful scenery of the mountains. Happy Easter, everyone. Goodbye.